Nah, I'm just giving a shit. Vodka's vodka.
I got this little thing. Ooh. Wait, trying to see kneecap too. That's better.
You want to see my kneecap?
Let's go. Oh yeah.
Now.
Dingus. Clean up the table. This is how we clean up the table. Dick. The link is up, but this thing fell broken.
The link is up.
The heat is on.
Chris, when do you leave? Saturday or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Where are you going?
Asheville.
Nashville?
Asheville.
Asheville?
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Why in the blue fuck are you going to North Carolina?
Mountains, trees, nature, roads.
His girlfriend made him go.
Is that what it is?
No. I don't have a girlfriend. I just have a girl that would be very upset if she heard me say that.
All right, Mitch. Do friendly.
Bush, search party at 3. You can eat what you find to do frying. I think we're as ready as we're ever going to be.
You think so?
Yeah. You got the leaky link?
I got the links up. Let's close that. Let's open this. We got exit out of here.
Hot Cheetos are like fucking crack.
Hot Cheetos are hot.
How?
Hot. All right.
Yeah, very.
All right. So we got it.
Close enough.
All right. So we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me turn that off.
Am I supposed to do that too?
No. Ready when you are.
Well, let's kick this pig, I guess.
Scott will appreciate the title of tonight's episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's the title of today's episode?
Explain how.
Oh, shit, that's good.
Dude, that show. Never gonna forget that concert. Fuck.
All right. You ready?
Whenever you are.
You ready? Live from the landing strip in Houston, Texas, this is a 448th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio.
Yeah.
This is Abel.
This is Scott.
This is Chris.
Yeah.
Why do you always fuck that up?
Why not?
If
There's
you're
only one viewer, and it's you.
yeah.
It's
If-
Porsche.
If you're watching us live, log into your YouTube account. That way you could chat along with us in the live chat, and I wouldn't be the only one in the live chat. That'd be great. If you're not watching us live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio, or just drop a comment down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the bell. That way you know when we go online, especially on weeks where we go online on different days of the week than we normally do. Like this week on a Tuesday instead of our normal Thursday. So yeah, why are we here on a Tuesday, Chris?
Because the 4th of July is on a Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you gonna be America?
Popping fireworks.
Yep.
Drinking beer.
Yeah.
How many fingers are you gonna lose?
Hopefully 2.
Hopefully too.
Yeah. Who needs finkies?
Too
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Jojo, what's up, man?
Hey, what up, bro? It's been a minute.
Hello.
It's been a while since we talked to JoJo.
It's been a while.
So what did we talk about last week?
We're talking about Forbidden Door. We previewed Forbidden Door.
Was
So-
that door open?
Well, it wasn't open yet.
It's been closed now.
Yeah.
Open and closed.
For now.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of Forbidden Door?
Not until I got here an hour ago.
Scott, did you watch any of Forbidden Door?
I did.
When?
Sunday night? Nope. It was Sunday night.
Some. Yeah.
Monday night
Yeah.
So you watched on Sunday and Monday?
with this
You,
guy.
you
Yeah.
split it up?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I saw it on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I saw it again on Monday. And then I saw some again today.
All right.
So my door is wide open.
Hi.
There's a draft in.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a Forbidden Door
yeah.
opening. All right.
What's your match of the night for you since you only saw two matches that night?
Two of them. There was 14 matches.
Right.
So-
So watching two matches is barely 10%.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, a little bit more than 10%. Whatever.
Japanese math.
Math, yeah. My match of the night is Ospreay versus Swerve.
Explain why.
I don't know. I just liked it. There was a lot of good exchanges. There was a lot of good teases that were kind of like the Ospreay and Ricochet tease that created all that controversy a few years ago. Especially towards the beginning. But I don't mind it. I like those kind of things. And I get it that like there's some people out there that really hate now you're just turning wrestling into ballet. I mean, it's not ballet if it's counters, right? And that's kind of what I like. Like it shows how competent both of these guys are and how well versed and well prepared they are for each other. When you have a combination of counter versus counter versus counter versus counter, like, oh fuck, that's cool. They really know each other. We're going to be in for a very balanced ride here, and it led to even further mystery as to who's actually going to win it, right? At least within the match. Now, of course, when you look at like the dirt sheets and the build and the politics and all, you can kind of predict it a little bit better. But if you didn't know and you're just looking at the match and you don't have context, fuck, I don't know who's going to win this, right? And it does a lot to show the competence of the two people that are involved. And I felt like just based off of the match, either guy could have won it. And it's good, and that's really good because you really did need to protect Ospreay, because going into the match, knowing the context, knowing the story, knowing what's going on and all that, I think we kind of somewhat agreed last week that we shouldn't be having Ospreay versus Swerve right now, because
I
that's
think we all agreed on that.
yeah,
It's too soon.
it's too soon to have Ospreay going for the world title, and it also would be too soon to have Swerve losing a world title.
Yeah.
Like, you got Hogan versus Warrior happening here at like before the first WrestleMania. Like, y'all need to fucking slow this shit down, Now I love the match. It was a great match. And that's why I say I think it's the match of the night between the two that I saw. But yeah, I don't know. I'll shut up.
You saw a bit more than Abel did. What is your match of the night?
I think I saw.
Oh, happy Rusev Day, Arnold.
Oh, Matt.
I think I saw 7 of the matches. I think maybe a little bit more. So I'm about 50%.
About 50%.
I put that match as my favorite.
Yeah.
That match, Bryan Danielson, and surprisingly, even though I shit on it last week, Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr.
Speak on that. What turned you around?
I like Zack Sabre Jr. anyway, so like
Yeah.
his matches are always entertaining. And I remember we had this whole conversation. That's why I wish you could have seen the match before we recorded. But like, we talked about like, can Orange Cassidy keep up and do the stuff that Zack Sabre, because like he's an interesting character. Both of them are two opposite ends of the spectrum of wrestling, And I think it worked out pretty well. He folded up Orange Cassidy like a
Origami.
yeah, like an origami piece.
Mm.
Yeah.
That boy had everything touched. He was just like, he looked like a pretzel. He was all just tangled up. He looked like a bunch of headphone wires stuck together.
Christmas tree lights
Yeah.
in August.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that the New Japan squad got as many wins as they did. I was expecting them to be shut out for the most part, just like they have been before.
Yeah.
So to watch Orange Cassidy, in essence, tap out to Sabre, but hang with Sabre.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a funny part where Orange Cassidy has him in like kind of like a weird leg lock, and so like Zack Sabre Jr. is on his back, and like they're just kind of looking at each other, and then he like grabs Orange Cassidy's hands and like he's like, put them in your pocket, like do the whole thing, put them in your pocket. And it's just funny, just like watching him like, all right, I'll put them in my pocket. But yeah, they hung. They he kept up with them.
Were they well hung?
His jeans were a little tight. What about you?
Second coming of Prince Puma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I'll talk about the one match that neither of you guys mentioned as of yet. We touched on it a little bit. Danielson and Takagi.
Yeah.
For as much of the high flyer and the counter stuff to the high flying that there was with Swerve and Ospreay, the slow pace, the storytelling. I can see where fans can complain that they're getting tired of Danielson pretending to die in his match, but that's the investment that you have, whether it's fair to use it as often. But you've been following his career for so long, you know that's his Achilles.
Oh.
Basically, his entire body is his Achilles at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But that DDT on the apron outside of the ring with the little twist that Takagi gave him.
Oh, that was brutal.
And then Danielson just fought back slowly but surely. And
don't call me Shirley.
The slow pace, because New Japan and AEW, they tend to do a lot of high flying, a lot of quick spots, a lot of boom, boom, boom. Excalibur's talking like the Micro Machine Man. So having Danielson and Shingo slow it down to a tempo that more casual people could understand. There's 10,000 people in there. Good for them. Not all 10,000 people are going to know who half of the New Japan people are, let alone be able to keep up with everything. You know? So, and again, with the hour and a half pre-show, that was 5.5 hours. Some of people sat through. So they needed not so much a letdown, but just a place to breathe.
Yeah. And
Shingo and Danielson was a really good match. Like, that's almost wrestling purist kind of match.
Portia says, "What up, jerks?"
But my match of the night is Ospreay and Swerve.
Okay.
I wish the Danielson match was a little higher in the card to break up some of the. I feel like this paper, even though I didn't watch it like live, I felt like it was better paced. Because like you said, sometimes AEW matches, like their pay-per-views, is like 1 to 100 in each match, and then it's like, we're going to the next one. This one seems a little bit better paced, but I wish that Danielson match was a little bit further up in the card.
Yeah. And they let a lot more things breathe. You didn't watch a lot of this, but like I made a complaint in Double or Nothing that match was over, boom, next segment, next video. This pay-per-view, you had Bryan and Shingo stare down, kind of mutual respect-ish, like there's more to come between them. You had the triple kiss with Shirakawa and Toni Storm and Mariah May, and then Mariah trying to bring them together as a group. And McGuinness crying on commentary, standing ovation after all that. You know, the stuff with Swerve and Ospreay at the end, like letting them know, it's like, bro, this ain't the end. You know, there were a lot of moments that stuff actually was let enough time for you to digest and be like, oh wow, it's Taz doing the standing ovation. You didn't watch a lot of that, but Taz's standing ovation after Hook got the win for Team Hook Shibata Joe, and he's all happy about it because again, that's Taz's belt that Jericho's defiling by calling it something else. You know?
Oh right, the belt is the reason why Taz isn't
not the fact that it's
among other things.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say, it's his boy.
He goes, it's his belt. He's watched his boy win titles and he's watched his boy win matches. This was specific, you know. So they let a lot of stuff air out, which I thought was a pretty good change of pace compared to what a lot of other AEW pay-per-views have been.
So tell me about this, because Arnold mentioned it in our group chat. Let's also mention it right now in the live chat.
Let me guess, the ladies.
Mercedes versus Bakir.
It sucked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes, Mr. Thompson, everything sucked.
He said that was his favorite match.
Wow. Okay.
Better than Swerve and
Hell
Ospreay?
no.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. It was the best women's match out of the two of them.
I think the crowd took a while to warm up to Vacker because there had not been one Vacker match on AEW television, I don't think, or at least on programming that people watch. If it was on Rampage, who the fuck saw it? But
or ROH.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. So they haven't seen her like this that they saw Willow Nightingale. The crowd from start to finish was on fire for Monet and Nightingale because they had the story built in for months.
Yeah.
This story with Vacker was only for about a cup of coffee, not to mention when Mercedes got hurt, she was the New Japan IWGP Women's Champion. She wasn't the mid-card title for the US show that only a handful of people watch. So I don't feel like there was much stakes on Stephanie Vacker's end. And I don't even know if you needed them at the end because the visual just was weird. And I don't mean Stephanie Vacker as a woman. I mean, she's putting up her New Japan Strong title, yet she comes out with 3 belts.
Oh.
No one understood or no one described on commentary, or I didn't catch it on commentary because that's one of the matches I wanted to see, and I saw it from start to finish. No one on commentary distinguished what the other 2 belts were for. All we knew was her New Japan Strong belt was on the line. So if it's title for title or all for nothing, then why are you bringing out all those other titles if they don't have any substance to the story at hand?
Yeah. That happens a lot, especially in the indie promotions that I do commentary for or whatever, because we'll be like, okay, well, this is going to be a title match for our mid-card championship, and then like the person that's the challenger comes out with like 2 different titles from 2 different promotions, and I wasn't prepared because I didn't know, and I don't even say it. It's like, yeah, this is a title match. Yeah, that guy's the challenger. I don't know what those 2 belts are, but okay, here comes the champion. He's fighting for this is the belt.
And you don't want to say it like that because they're not. He's not bringing those 2 belts out for 2 different promotions for you to downgrade the other promotions. Yeah.
Happens all the time.
The match started picking up. I think halfway through the match, Vacker was like, the crowd was like, all right, I like Vacker.
Yeah.
And then once the dumbass fan at ringside stood up with the Celtics shirt and everyone was shitting on Boston, that's when people started booing Mercedes. And
to a degree.
Where were they?
They were in Long Island.
Okay.
Which is about 3 hours from New York City. So I don't know why they were saying New York City. No, this is Houston. This isn't Dallas. Like that's how the difference is.
It's not that far.
Look it up in the map. It's 3 hours 27.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Look it up in the map.
No, I believe you.
I was trying to go to. I was thinking about going to World's End last year, and I was like, if I get a flight to New York, how long is the travel from New York to Long Island? I was like, 3 hours. Nah, I'm not doing that shit. So, but then the match happened. Mercedes won. Kind of figured Mercedes was going to win because it's Mercedes.
And she got creative control.
And that's what soured me on the whole run. It was like, I don't need to know that, number 1. I don't care to know that, number 2. And number 3, does Tony Khan, for someone that is so beloved in wrestling lore and history, does he not know the lessons from WCW's mistakes to give anyone for creative control on their own booking? Let alone, no disrespect, line up all your main talent on the roster, men and women. What gives Mercedes the label of she's the one out of everybody in this brand that gets creative control?
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
I don't know.
Assuming that's true. I saw it floating around the internet. Not everything on the internet is true. I don't have a 12-foot dick now.
I would believe that there's more people that have more creative control than just Mercedes, like the Bucks, for example, right? But again, they're EVPs. But then again, Mercedes is a CEO, so that I guess makes sense.
They need MVP in that company too.
Why?
Just get more letters.
Oh, okay.
You got a CEO, I got MVP, I got an MJF, I got a fucking
BBC, BCC.
Yeah.
There
you go. We know what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
We know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Grande.
The ladder match, Scott. Enlighten Abel.
Yeah.
The person we thought would have
MFT. Arnold says MFT.
the person that we thought would benefit the most from winning was the one that won, Jack Perry. What do you think of the ladder match?
I don't know. It's another ladder match with some crazy fucking spots.
Remember last week he was the one that was bitching about we have too many ladder matches around, right?
Yeah.
Did it?
No, it didn't help.
Okay.
Here was the best part. We complained and laughed and mocked about how Edge broke a leg because he couldn't decide whether to do a full body plunge, a splash, or an elbow drop, and kind of did a little bit of both and broke his leg. Right. Mark Briscoe did the exact same fucking spot on Sunday.
Yeah.
But he couldn't realize if he wanted to do a froggy bow or a splash, and he wound up landing the same way Edge did, from like the top rope to the table that somebody was laid out on the floor.
Did you break a leg?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
No.
They didn't follow up on that one.
Arnold says bocce.
Very.
The best part about the whole match was
Konosuke?
Yeah, Konosuke did the blue tiger bomb, like
from the apron.
Blue thunder bomb
Thunder
off
bomb.
of the apron through 2 tables.
Oh.
It looked clean. And I think Justin Roberts has he filmed it. So there's a slow-mo video of it.
Nice.
From his angle.
Mm-hmm.
So you see it. Man, it looked cool as shit. But again, it was a ladder match.
Oh, Phantasmo looked good for the spots that he was in.
He's getting shit on online. They call him a Wish version of Logan Paul.
What?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. What about the Lucha Bros and Mystico?
We got to see that towards the end.
We watched it
retroactively. It was a fun match for what it was. The first half, the first 75% of Mystico's action in the ring, he was getting beat up.
Yeah.
He was looking like a punk in there.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of spots towards the end. He did a team up. Ray Phoenix catapulted him for do a tornillo on all 3 of the guys that were on the outside of the ring, and Mystico got the win, and it looked good. There's a video online where Mystico tried to thank Penta and Phoenix, and they didn't want to shake his hand. We still have unfinished business. I'm like, oh, well, you're going to AAA? You have my number. So they might be going back and finishing up some stuff.
Even then, they held each other's hands after the match.
Yeah.
It's fun. I told Chris that should have been the opener to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because it was just one of those ones where it's like, it's not going to be crazy. Nothing's going to be...
No one's going to die.
Yeah, no. Well, you never know. But nobody's, it's not for anything. It's just a bunch of dudes doing fucking and just 100 miles an hour at parts. Like a good opener, be like, oh shit, this is what we're getting into. All right.
For the people that are into the Forbidden Door stuff, it's a huge deal to have those 3 guys team together.
Yeah.
I understand there's a lot of drama still between AAA and CMLL, and having them on a pay-per-view where they make money for someone else might have been an issue, as opposed to just having it on the free show for YouTube for everyone to enjoy. It was still cool for what it was. I thought it was cool. That was my first chance at looking at Yota Tsuji. He's all right. I can dig him. Is
that the bigger guy?
Yeah, the bulky kid. That's all smiles from LIJ.
Yeah, he was cool.
I want to see Takahashi wrestle all 3 of them individually. Titan was good too. He was a lot better than the stuff on Dynamite I've been seeing.
Every wrestler had their chop spot.
Throughout
the match. Some of them were fucking good, real good.
It's for free on YouTube. If you're bored, go back. It's 12 minutes. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun little tease. It was a good match.
Like I said, if it was the opener, you would have got that crowd hot right off the bat. Because the opener was MJF and
Hechicero, which was okay, but it's kind of weird. And the commentary team brought it up, which kind of made it even more uncomfortable in a sense. 6 months ago, in that same arena, MJF walked in as world champ. And 6 months later, MJF is walking in the opening match of Forbidden Door without a belt. Was weird. Just like, not to say how the mighty have fallen, but damn.
Yeah.
But MJF would be back in the title hunt. He would be in the Owen Hart tournament to try to get a title shot, or at least claim that he never got a contractual rematch or something.
But you would think, like whenever a huge babyface returns from an injury, they don't start off as the opener to Raw,
right?
In a match against nobody. It's like, oh, I lost my belt and I've been gone for 6 months. I want to, like he should have been somewhere up there, To just be like, oh, we're just gonna have this random match that doesn't matter. It's not like they're doing like some brand supremacy thing or some shit. It's just a match. Which is fine.
They showed backstage MJF watching the title match.
I saw that.
They should have just left them off the card and just have that one moment of MJF backstage watching the match to be like, oh, I remember MJF had this belt the last time I came here to watch wrestling.
Well, I understand those misgivings that you have about it, but how was the actual match itself? Because remember, I really like HWR.
So do I, but on paper, MJF is not a Mexican luchador.
Well, I know, so that's why I'm asking. How was the match? I don't want to know how it was on paper. How was it on video?
Well, it was all right. Expectations being as low as they were, it was okay.
It was a solid MJF match.
Okay.
There's a couple of spots that were kind of.
Yeah.
I assume MJF won.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. I was like, wait a minute.
Anything else from the pay-per-view you want to bring up?
Mox. What happened with Mox?
Oh, he lost the title to Naito.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
They try to do that. They try to do like the apron, the corner apron, spear into the apron and break it. And somehow they missed, and they both went in between the announce table and the entrance, like into the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, instead of getting speared into the apron, the corner, like.
You mean the barricade?
The barricade. Somehow Naito like caught him like this, and so they both went this way.
In the little nook between the table and the rail.
So like just right in front of like Justin Roberts' legs, and then like there was a cameraman there, and like he was not like faking anything. He was like, "Get up! Like we need to get up! Like I'm pissed! Like he's looking mad, and he's like trying to get up. He's like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, "You're supposed to be played dead. You just been knocked out."
Yeah. There's 2 good episodes of Raw that'll show you how to play dead.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
So New Japan's turn next year.
Yeah.
Wrestle Dynasty the day after Wrestle Kingdom is CMLL, AEW, Stardom, and New Japan.
Really?
So normally it's New Year's Dash the next night after Wrestle Kingdom, but they're AEW guys in the Tokyo Dome.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some AEW guys on the Wrestle Kingdom.
Maybe, yeah.
There always is.
1 or 2. So Takeshita's supposed to be in this G1 tournament. If he makes it to the finals, that's already a good rub for AEW, and have Konosuke come back and wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom again. Have y'all been keeping up at all with New Japan?
No? Not at all. I'm probably keeping up with American shit.
I'm pretty keeping up with life.
Yeah.
I asked because they need new blood, man. Naito, what does Naito getting the belt back from Moxley do for the brand?
Brings the belt home.
Yeah, gets it off Moxley. Because remember, they had problems with Moxley and AEW booking that belt for
for Dynamite shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, all right, give us back our belt. That's the big benefit. They can control it a little bit better now. And to be honest, I don't really give a shit about Mox. I think a lot of people don't give a shit about Mox right now.
I haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
And apparently the numbers don't lie. Every week when I listen to Cornet podcast, segment 6 with John Moxley versus yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So Swerve versus Ospreay was match of the night.
Yeah.
Would you consider to go any further than that? Our current AEW ballot entry for match of the year is Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita.
One, two, three.
Really?
Yeah.
You first.
This was really fucking good. And I don't know if it's. I'd have to rewatch Konosuke versus Ospreay, but I feel like we almost always have a conversation after an Ospreay match that, oh my god, match of the year, and I'm not sure if this is going to be the one that I'm going to want to hang my hat on, but it was really fucking good. But I'm gonna sound like Arnold. The shenanigans with the managers and the screwdriver, that kind of took a little bit away from it. But I understand why, because you had to figure out a way to kind of make Ospreay not look incompetent in a loss. And you also had to figure out a way to further the storyline of Ospreay trying to exit the Callis family, right? Eventually, once it's like, okay, Ospreay is out of the Callis family, and we're going to get Ospreay versus maybe Takeshita again, or whatever, like that's going to mean more, and maybe that will beat out this other Ospreay versus Takeshita match. Because Ospreay versus Takeshita wasn't that a Dynamite? And it was like
Ospreay versus Takeshita was on AEW Revolution.
It was on Revolution, okay. But the stakes were kind of low because it was just like my guy versus my other guy, and let's see how it turns out.
Jordan and Pippen fight all the time in practice, but when it's time to play, they win championships.
Well, now that Jordan and Pippen are on different teams, maybe they're running it back. It might be worth more. So I'm kind of just hoping that in the last half of the year we're going to get another main event match with Ospreay that's just going to blow the balls off of the thing, and it's going to be great. I may wind up regretting my decision at the end of the year if there's nothing better, and think that, okay, well, Ospreay versus Takeshita won, or Ospreay versus Swerve. The stakes are a little bit higher with Ospreay versus Swerve because it was his first world title challenge, right?
Main event of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so maybe I'll be kicking myself at the end of the year, but right now, I don't know if I just want to throw another Ospreay match onto the match of the year list because I want to. Whoa, hold on, let's see. Yeah. Scott, what about you?
I have the same reasons why. I just thought I understand why they went with the interference and like the ref bump and stuff like that, but then I had the exact same reaction because obviously I watched it last night, you watched it tonight. Whenever Don Callis showed up, or when the ref bump, it was oh man, like why? And then the ref bump, and then Callis, and then like, will he stab him with a screwdriver? Or will he not? And then he's not. It's like, oh, he's good, yay! But then they had like, for me personally, like I understand that we live in a wrestling world where there's a lot of false finishes, but like sometimes, man, you gotta go out when it's hot. And like when he did that double stomp and rolled him up into that pin, like that was perfect. But I understand you got to. So I don't know, just too many false finishes. The ref bump, I don't think it was needed because it's two guys going at it for the first time, like on this show. That's just me.
Chris, what about you? You voted it down too.
I did. Up until the ref bump, I thought it was match of the year.
Okay.
There's two things that I hate to use this word, but it tanked it for me.
Oh, tanked it.
Yeah, and it's the first one is what really does it.
The ref bump.
No.
Oh. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Oh, no grease here, fellas. So for Ospreay being pretty much the penultimate babyface that he is right now in AEW, regardless that he's in the Don Callis family, even though he really isn't because he doesn't fit anything. He held on to that screwdriver against Nana for too fucking long.
Yeah.
It diminished a lot of his babyface aura. This is not WWE. We're not patronizing to the lowest common denominator. These are your smart fans. If you're gonna do that with Swerve because you guys are friends and you have this history, and he kicked you in the face the Dynamite before because you grabbed his belt again, and then you gave him the hidden blade, the collision the night before because of the weigh-in shenanigans. If you're gonna play that with Swerve, you can kind of get it. Because, again, we mentioned this last week. Swerve's the fool that cut a promo on a fucking baby. So sometimes if you got to out-heel the heel, sometimes even good guys do bad things. I get it. But what the fuck was it with Nana? Nana and fucking Callis, they're in their weight class. They're allowed to do their fuckery. Ospreay having that screwdriver and looking at him like this is final destination, motherfucker. It just as long as as soon as he did this, he should have went like this.
Yeah.
Because he's the baby face.
It took him too long to realize.
He's a brub. He's not a badass. He's not a tweener. He should have done that the moment it happened. And he held it for so long. I'm like, man, what the fuck?
Or what I was expecting him to do was grab Nana with the screwdriver and then hand him the screwdriver and say, "Have at Don Callis."
Even better,
right?
and chase him out.
Yeah,
and leave it to them two.
Have Callis on the ground, been like, no, like, and then that would have been a lot better.
That would have been a perfect exodus for Ospreay to leave the family.
Yeah,
and he gave the screwdriver to Nana and have Nana chase him out like fucking that.
It would have been enough distraction for just a boom, quit, big high impact move,
because and
then pin.
As soon as he got in the ring, he got kicked in the head.
He got the house call and then the stomp.
Roll him up,
and that should have been it.
Boom.
And part two,
I would have fucking lost.
Part two is that if he was gonna kick out of whatever just happened, why the fuck do that spot in the first place?
Yeah.
If you're going to have Owen Hart descend from the roof, but you're going to have him do it during a promo and no one on television is actually watching him come down, why the fuck do it?
Yeah.
Same thing with this. Like, all of that was completely unnecessary if that wasn't going to be the finish. Instead, there was more counters, more stuff. Now, I'll admit, I liked the way it ended with, you're going to have to damn near kill Ospreay to beat him. And then he gave his last gasp, which was nothing.
Yeah.
But that could have been, you could have easily had that been the final spot without the fuckery at ringside.
Yeah.
And have the fuckery afterwards of like, I left you this screwdriver here. Why didn't you use it? After Ospreay, after fucking Swerve leaves. And you can see the descent. Again, they did a good job this pay-per-view of letting stuff breathe. You could have had a post-match segment with them, with Callis, and just have Swerve walk away. And then you build to tonight or tomorrow and do the promo and finish off that segment. And then somebody turn on Ospreay. Maybe it's Fletcher or the fat guy from Aussie Open that returns. And it's like, now we saw what it's like for Swerve's.
Something.
We know what it's like for Swerve's people to get turned on him. Now Ospreay's own people are going to get turned on him. And that's the build between now and 7 weeks to All in London.
Are they doing All Out as well in Chicago?
Yes, but they actually use the brain cell. They're not doing it back-to-back weeks. They're doing All Out in Chicago the weekend after Labor Day weekend. The reason they do All in London is because it's a bank holiday in London.
Yeah.
So they want that extra time. The reason they do it the next weekend on a Sunday is because it's Labor Day. But they decided we need more time to book between fucking All In and All Out, so they pushed All Out a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So
anything there?
Yes. So Arnold has a question, which is a good question. And I actually have the same question as well. I'm going to need to be reminded. Wait, Ospreay versus Takeshita was better than versus Danielson? Is that what happened? Did Takeshita beat out Danielson?
Yeah, Takeshita beat out Danielson. We have Ospreay versus Alexander from Impact. We have Zack Sabre versus Bryan Danielson for New Japan from New Beginnings. And then we have Ospreay versus Takeshita for Revolution.
Did we have Ospreay versus Danielson before?
The only match that's been dethroned so far is Okada versus Danielson from Wrestle Kingdom 18.
Did that match happen this year, or did that happen in 2023? Is that what's going on?
Was that Wrestle Kingdom?
What, Ospreay
Ospreay versus Danielson.
That might have happened in March.
Then why was that
April,
not on the list?
We might not have voted for it.
I wasn't here for it.
Yeah.
It's my first day.
Damn, Scots. Yeah.
Unless he means Takeshita and Danielson.
I don't think that's happening.
Takeshita versus Danielson?
That is not. No. Google it. What event was that on? And we'll go back in the archive and see if we actually voted it and we forgot to update it. As of right now, it's Ospreay and Takeshita from Revolution.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, before we go into the predictions that are coming up this weekend,
yes,
I've got one question for you.
Okay.
Who's your tribal chief?
Ooh.
You want to talk about cooking without grease? SmackDown is on it right now.
Yeah.
SmackDown is fucking on it.
Yeah.
Regretfully, now you have to start watching SmackDown again, which you yourself said.
Yeah.
I have to care about this bloodline.
Well, I mean, I watched it. I watched SmackDown when that happened. I happened to catch that episode. That's some good shit. I think that they're doing an absolute brilliant job on trying to get Roman to be cheered, right? They're doing it in such a great way that I may even be convinced to be happy when Roman comes back.
The
Because,
one thing Vince could never do.
right. But Triple H can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, for some reason. I think they're doing a really, really good job with this whole Roman shit. And I like the idea of where I think we might be going, but we're not guaranteed to go yet, which is, Bloodline 2.0 versus original Bloodline.
Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War and
Blood.
Yeah.
My only issue with that now is like, where does The Rock fit in?
The Rock is on Bloodline 2.0.
Yeah, but they don't need him.
Think about what you just said. Name me the memorable Solo promo.
That does not,
What are the Tongans done so far? Jacob's been there for a cup of coffee. We know who he is because we dabbled in MLW a bit.
Okay, yeah.
But right now, are they standalone enough as the four without Paul Heyman to help speak for them, does Rock balance the scale against all the heavy hitters in the old bloodline?
And well, I think that's part of the charm of the story. They are not as established. They're not as good. And so they look like a Wish version. So that's what's going to get people to boo them. Yeah. Right? I think that's the whole crux of it.
Also the fact that Heyman said, "You're not my chief."
Yeah.
Right? They beat the shit out of him. And then, when's The Rock showing up? SummerSlam? Maybe Rumble? Whatever, right? Like, if he just comes in, then what the fuck? Why are we wasting our time with Solo?
Yeah.
What does Solo do that once The Rock takes over? Because once The Rock shows up, he's the tribal chief. He's the head of the table for sure, right? Yeah. And then you're gonna get Rock and Roman. That's what it's leading to, is Rock and Roman. So you need to figure out what Solo. So that's why The Rock. I mean, maybe Solo doesn't fit into it.
So Solo was acknowledged as a tribal chief by the others, but not by Heyman. Or let's replay this back in our head. Did the others say you are the tribal chief, or since he never got laid, he never actually took the mantle, right? Like, are we still there where it's like, okay, well, he wants to be the tribal chief, but he's not because he wasn't officially accepted by.
He got laid.
He got laid.
Yeah, after they put Heyman through the table, they put it on him.
And they said, "You are my tribal chief."
Every one of them say individually in the microphone.
Okay.
It's just I like where they're going with it.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining, but like I just don't know where The Rock fits in. Which is the same argument we could have had like at the beginning 6 months ago when The Rock showed up at WrestleMania, last year. We're like, where does The Rock fit in? It's Cody versus Roman.
Why is Portia talking about Brock? Brock Lesnar? No, we're talking about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
There's an online, not like fan booking that when Heyman comes back,
it's with Brock.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Was that who you were talking about this entire time?
I'm talking about The Rock.
You're talking about Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne
yeah, you're talking about D-Dub.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Brock doesn't fit in either. Brock and Rock don't fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying there is a maybe she thought we were talking about Rock, but no, it's The Rock.
Yeah, she says Lesnar has too much legal shit going on to be on TV, the lawsuit with Vince, and all that stuff.
If he doesn't ever come back, I'm okay with it.
Brock Lesnar?
Brock.
I'm fine with it.
Shit, Rock too. I don't care. I just don't know where he fits in the story. And if you're gonna,
how about this?
For the next 6 months, you have Solo running the Bloodline and running SmackDown and taking care and beating up all the baby faces, and then The Rock shows up and he's like, "Thanks, I got it from here." Like, then that's gonna make Solo
look like a bitch.
Yeah, or
not necessarily. The Rock can easily say, the last person that I acknowledged lost at WrestleMania, so now my allegiance is with Solo.
Or how about this? How about this as the idea? The Rock is the new wise man. Has a lot of power, has a lot of influence, can be the mouthpiece, but the actual tribal chief is Solo.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd buy it.
Now,
but the wise man can also wrestle
because you can.
If he has to,
yeah.
he doesn't have to. He's retired. He's a Hollywood guy.
You can have Solo on the phone to the wise man for weeks and months and be like, who the fuck is the wise man? What are they talking about?
It's the Rock.
And
then he shows up. Hello, my name is Armando Alejandro.
I saw somebody.
The Rock.
Yeah, I saw somebody online said whenever this whole bloodline goes over, they need to bring him back to be Jacob Fatu's manager.
Yeah,
I was like,
he was Fatu's manager for a minute too.
That's like bring him back just for this.
So you have the 4 from the Young Thundering bloodline. If we're doing 4-on-4 war games, who's Team OG?
I mean, you got to get the Usos back together, right?
Which is, I don't know how that's gonna work. What's Jimmy doing?
He's been MIA since Mania.
Like he lost that match.
Him and Roman have been MIA.
Yeah.
And then Jay is just doing his thing. So,
But Jay, I mean, that's another character, another wrestler that if he gets thrown into this bloodline, he might lose more. Now he's going back to being Roman's second in command, the tag team, the Uso brother.
Not necessarily.
They got to do a lot.
For Roman's redemption, he has to admit that Jay is as big a. Yeah, Jay is the future.
Yeah, no, I know.
Roman is now.
They got to.
Yeah, and then Jimmy.
But then again,
Jimmy's a different beast, a separate story that I'm intrigued to see how they bring Jimmy back. Like, play on it. Jimmy can't travel, hadn't been able to travel for a long time because he has DUI and alcoholism issues. Portray him as an alcoholic ever since the bloodline. This position.
I wouldn't go that route, man.
And you got to bring back Sammy.
So Sammy would be your 4th?
Your Uso, your honorary Uso. Yeah.
Maybe.
Punk's tied up with McIntyre, and
Yeah.
And Cody's gonna get eaten alive by everybody at some point.
I mean, I could see Sammy. Like, it would make sense. Maybe Sammy is the one that gets them, the Usos and Roman, together, because it's like, hey, come on, guys. I've been trying to tell you for this the entire time. Now this is what happened. These are and you have a remorseful Roman with Jay, who is definitely full on babyface. All right. Sammy is the one who bridges the gap between Jimmy.
And it's funny you mentioned that because they dropped a nugget about it last night on Raw when it was Chad Gable and Jey Uso cutting the promo for Money in the Bank. It was like, your team did what I did. I left a loser of a manipulative guy like Roman to get where I am today, and they're going to be better off without you. So there's already that put down to where Sammy's the therapist to bring everyone together.
And let's not forget that
and Heyman.
We all talk about
Heyman. Yeah, Heyman's that when Heyman and Roman come back, that crowd's gonna fucking blow the roof off.
And let's not forget that yes, while we see the bloodline, all of them, the Tongans, all of them, they are family. At the end of the day, the Usos are still twins, but they are the older brothers of Solo.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some of that, hey, we're really going to let little brother poke us?
Yeah.
Put
him in his place.
Yeah, we need to put little brother in his place, right?
But
hey, we got somebody new in the live chat.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah. It's BKL Contreras. He calls himself the sports entertainment guy. He just says, shout out to everybody in the chat from Houston Rest Radio. Keep up the good work on the channel.
Yeah, appreciate it.
South Bronx.
Yo. Hey, how far is New York from Long Island?
New York City.
Yes.
New York City from Long Island.
Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah. Is it 3 hours?
Now I
googled it.
Here's
You
another.
did? Is it 3 hours?
No, let's see what he says.
Oh, let's see.
So you could play off of this story because it's been done with Sammy. You have all this time between now and Mania.
Yeah.
What if Brock comes back? What if Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar.
Okay.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar by himself because he's a beast, defending Heyman's honor, tries to fight the Bloodline 2.0, and he can't do it alone. And Roman Reigns is the one saving him.
I don't like it, and I don't think it will happen for the exact same reasons that Portia said in the chat. He's got too much of the legal shit going on with all the fallout of all the sex scandal with Vince and this and that. He's not coming back anytime soon.
What legal shit? Because I haven't heard any of this legal shit.
I mean, he's part of.
I've heard his name announced in the reports when the news official.
I don't know. I don't know.
That she was getting crapped and pissed on by Vince and fucking.
Yeah, Vince was pimping her out basically to Brock as to sweeten the deal to make Brock come back. It's like, hey, we'll give you all this money, and you know what? We'll let you fuck this chick.
Yeah,
too.
but I haven't heard about any actual litigation towards Brock since then.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah, I know what he's.
Everything just died down after Vince McMahon left fucking TKO.
Okay.
That's why, because there's
there's
shit going on. Like, you know, I wouldn't bring back Brock. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bring back Lesnar. He'd already run his course. People were already kind of getting over him, getting sick of him when he was.
And he had a hell of a run already.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he needs to add any to his. Yeah, he doesn't need to add to his legacy.
And his UFC run. Second one, not so much.
Yeah, and he's too busy with his kid. She's winning fucking.
Yeah, wrestling tournaments, right?
Yeah, she's whooping ass. So like,
Yeah.
Stay away. Just don't come back. I mean, you get inducted to the Hall of
Be
Fame.
her wise man.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Go to AEW. No, just kidding.
Go to AEW.
Rhodes, Orton, and Kevin Owens against 3 members of the Bloodline 6-man tag for Money in the Bank this Saturday in Toronto.
When will we know who the 3 members are?
I'm guessing SmackDown.
Yeah.
So Friday.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say it's Solo's not wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
He's
say.
gonna make everyone else.
It's the other 3, and Solo's the Solo's gonna do something else.
Yeah. I'm at 8.
I'm at an 8 too.
Fatu's debut, bro. His
in-ring wrestling dude.
His debut in Madison Square Garden with his theme and the pyro going off with his theme and him coming out as a fucking Samoan werewolf.
Gorilla?
Huh?
Is he not?
Samoan werewolf.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd say that was a better debut in MSG than The Rock, than Rocky Maivia in tassels.
I have somebody else in the live chat, Damian Hernandez. CM Punk has a better chance saving Heyman than Brock showing up to help.
Ooh.
Hell, Ryback has a better chance coming.
If he wasn't tied up with McIntyre, I would agree because Punk called him out as counterfeit bloodline and everything. But
speaking of counterfeit bloodline, the bloodline are all Samoan, right?
the original bloodline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we refer to Tama Tonga and Tongaloa as the Tongans. How does that fit in the Samoan bloodline? Why do we have a bunch of Samoans and then some Tongans? What happened?
Hector was here.
You know why? Because they're cousins.
Okay.
They're all, I don't know. They're always cousins. Like there's somebody's
If
related to
Rikishi
somebody.
and Haku as a tag team could get away with it.
We have an answer. Unfortunately, it's 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Bam!
I live in Concourse side, through Yankee Stadium. Ugh.
Don't say. Hey.
Hey, that's a cool ass fucking stadium.
Yeah.
That's a cool ass
I've been.
Hey,
It's bad.
Whiskey Brooklyn is one of the best bars I've ever been to in my life. I saw this dude puke out of an Uber because he was there for so long. Whiskey
How
Brooklyn,
many drinks did I have that day?
without eating. No,
without eating.
Look up if you've been to Whiskey Brooklyn, put it in the chat. I want to know if you've been there before.
It's right next to Brooklyn Brewery, which is also a pretty good brewery.
I used to work for Brooklyn Brewery back in the day. So.
Yeah. I told you I needed food and I didn't find
I gave you food. It was just in liquid form.
God. I had at least a dozen drinks that fucking day.
Fucking Scott the Scott, man.
And it was that chick's birthday, and we just tug along with the group, and they kept feeding us beer, shots. Oh, God.
Hold on. Where is Money in the Bank?
Toronto.
Oh, okay. Because
Canada.
Yeah, Damien said in the live chat, hey, Jacob can't travel out of the U.S. Well, I didn't realize it was Canada.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're making exceptions now.
So then, if he can't, then yeah, it's going to be the Tongans and Solo. Then that's going to be the one wild card to figure out who's the three going to be.
Oh yeah, Fatu can.
Yeah.
That's what you just said, right? Fatu.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
Jacob
He
will
also
be able
has,
to.
he's got a long criminal record.
but so does Jay. But Jay's wrestling on the pay-per-view.
Well, I think Jay's criminal record is all moving violations, right? Because it's like DUIs and stuff. What is Jacob's?
Fatu has had like hard fucking time.
But Canada can be strict on certain things too. Right? I mean, if you get a DWI, I have a friend. She got DWI, and she couldn't go to Canada. They denied her.
Yeah.
But then we were talking about it, it's like it's been a long time probably since he's had it, and I bet you WWE or some way of getting him.
Jay's been with WWE for over 10 years. At some point, they'll be able to take responsibility for it. They've only had Jacob Fatu 2 weeks.
Yeah, there could be a statute of limitations on it too. Like if it's 10 years, maybe it's like, oh, within the last 5 or something like that. But some countries will go back 15.
Which sucks because like
he's the best one.
That's the one you want to see, but then it's like, why is he not there? It's like, well, he's got a bad criminal record. It's like, don't fucking advertise. They should have just done a tag match. But then you got to throw. Then what about Kevin Owens or what about Orton or who wouldn't be in the match? Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
So Contreras says whiskey. I've heard of it. Unfortunately, I only drink beer.
No, they got beer. They got beer down there. Whiskey Brooklyn's got beer. Yeah, it's a bar. This is gonna go off topic. It's a bar upstairs. It's kind of like a lounge, and then you go downstairs, and there's they got some games. They got all the
DJ
stuff. Yeah, so it's a dope ass place. Anyway, back to wrestling.
Sorry.
Eat before you get there.
Yeah.
Apparently,
they got no food. They might have food in the little lounge area up top, but
probably just bar food.
Yeah. Probably
Garbage. Yeah. Who's winning?
Probably the Bloodline.
Yeah, they have to win.
Yeah.
Their first meet.
Even though the team of Orton and Owens hasn't won diddly squat against the Bloodline because they lost when Tongaloa debuted.
Yeah.
And now you're adding.
You're adding more fuel to the fire of how insane Bloodline 2.0 is, right?
And they signed Hikuleo too.
Oh, that's official?
Yeah, that's been official.
So Hikuleo isn't debuted yet, but he's on the payroll?
Which one? Who's he?
He's the tall one from Bullet Club.
Oh.
Not Bad Luck Fale, the fat one. There's a tall, thin one. He's been on Dynamite like twice.
Yeah.
He's been on Dynamite like twice or 3 times. Yeah, Hikuleo. Yeah.
I see Bloodline winning and Zilla showing up. Is it too soon for Zilla Fatu? Is it too soon to see Zilla?
From what I've read online, he needs to get knocked down a peg. For attitude wise, he should be in NXT.
Okay, I don't know
how many Samoans do you need.
That's the issue.
Well, apparently, if you're trying to do 5-on-5,
it's like the
10.
TNA of Samoans.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's not Samoan.
Because you're gonna need people on that side. So, but hey, they've signed those 2, right? They're both Samoans. The one you just
Hikuleo,
yeah. Then keep them until Roman comes back.
Maybe, yeah.
Get them WWE ready.
Instead of Sammy, it'll be Hikuleo.
Yeah.
Okay. How does he fit in the fucking Bloodline? Is he a cousin? Is he from Fiji?
So when the show's over, we'll pull up that huge ass graphic they did at WrestleMania at the WrestleMania conference of the whole fucking tree, and we'll poke them all out because they're all on it. Yeah. Like people were working out the fact that there's Jacob Fatu's name, there's fucking such and such, there's such and such. Whoa, there's too many of them fuckers.
So is it kind of like a family of Mexicans and there's that one Salvadoreño?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like, all right, he's the cousin, he's the primo from
If he sweats enough, his back
if
he sweats enough, his back is just as wet.
There was a war, they had to go there, and that's how it happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only Bloodline family, like the Samoan family. So the Tongans don't count? I don't know, man. I would keep going back to this.
They're cousins.
Because what's her name?
Tamina?
Yeah, Tamina. She's the son of Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka was from Fiji. He was Fijian. Fijian? How do you say that?
Fijian?
Fijian? Yeah. But he wasn't Samoan. But what did like he marry into the Samoan family? Like Naomi. Naomi is fucking American, right?
Yeah. You can be Samoan American.
Huh?
You can be.
But depending on the day of the week, she's got some Samoan in her.
Well,
hopefully every day.
Damn.
I'm sure somebody could if he can.
There's always those videos online where you watch, like, they always interview all the different Samoans, and they're like, how is, Rikishi related to y'all? And it's like, well, that's my second uncle, or that's my second cousin. So, like, that's how it is. Yeah, I think they're just, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's worth a Google.
Well, Damien's also bringing up Samoa Joe. Not related, but he's a Samoan, right? So
they can get a hell of an endorsement deal from Trojan.
He's half Samoan, right?
Joe?
Samoa Joe's half Samoan.
Really?
I have no idea.
I thought his mom was Samoan. You know what? This is way off topic. But the whole episode is just
I'm sure his mom was Samoan the day he was conceived. Yeah.
We just got to figure out the whole episode from now on is just us drawing up a timeline of
but it's gonna be like that strings pictures and all that. This is how they all
look, I got this cigarette. Look, this guy is related to this guy, but this guy is not Samoan. But this Samoan.
This one is in his name, but I don't know how he got here.
Yeah. No, conspiracy. Chris is gonna look like fucking Loki at the end of season 2, just like with all the holding the fucking tree.
Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title.
Braun Breaker.
Oh man, I want to be at like an 8 on this one. I wish that I could say with a straight face, Braun's winning this, Braun Breaker, but no, Sami's winning it. I kind of want to see Braun Breaker win it, but nah, Sami's keeping it.
We kind of sat last night and we like fantasy booked what happens with Sami. He ain't winning it. Braun needs it. If Braun loses on Saturday,
it's too soon for Braun to lose his match. Yeah.
And I was thinking about it until Raw last night when they cut that promo between them, and then Braun beat the shit out of him. And I was like, I know always before the pay-per-view the heel gets the big beaten up, and then like the babyface wins on the pay-per-view or whatever. But like Braun, I don't think Braun needs the belt, but he needs to beat Sami because if he
needs to have a marquee win.
Yeah, because if he loses it, then he's just a loser.
So he wins by DQ. He spears him so much that the ref stops
the
match.
He's already dead.
And he keeps going.
You're at a 10.
Yeah.
A 10. An anticipation level for this. Holy shit.
Good.
Okay. All right. You're at a 10 too?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I feel bad for being at an 8 now.
Call me Ty Dillinger. I'm at a 10.
I forgot how confident, not so much of like the most memorable promo skills, but the confidence that Braun has when he talks on the microphone. Like he'll have his calm demeanor's voice, and then somehow into it he kicks into like a growl that sounds like a blend of of his dad and his uncle. It's almost like a Dragon Ball Z fusion of both of their voices.
If you put both the Steiner brothers together, you get Braun Breaker.
Yeah. And Sami's holding his own. Sami's been holding his own on these promos. He's I can't remember the last time someone did a great job of solidifying the Intercontinental title as being something as important as every other main title that's on both of the brands. And Sami's been selling it.
Gunther.
Well, he doesn't have a belt right now.
I know, but
he made it. Yeah. He made it prestigious.
He made it prestigious.
Yeah.
So Sami's reaping the rewards off of that.
Yeah, and he's carrying the torch pretty well.
Another reason why Braun needs to win is the crowd fucking love Breaker.
Yeah, but they're going to be in Canada. Sami's hometown.
Okay.
So they could just cheer everything.
Yeah, or they could cheer the Canadian.
Yeah.
And they could, so it could be a reverse.
And then we pull up the Steiner family tree and we find out that Braun Breaker's like a quarter Canadian from Saskatchewan.
But when he was beating the shit out of
His great granddaddy played for the Rough Riders, fullback, 2 seasons.
I don't know if you saw it, but like he speared him and then he came back and he beat him up and like they were like one more time, like do it again, and it's like this is your like ultimate underdog babyface champion.
Yeah.
And people want to see him getting fucking chopped in half. Like, I think it's gonna be a fun match.
Some people
It's
just wanna
gonna.
watch
It'll
one
probably
corner.
steal the show.
It has the potential to.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Very much.
it
so.
could.
I got Braun winning.
Damien says I would like Braun winning it, but WWE, and this is the part that I have to question you guys on. WWE is waiting till the Netflix deal is happening to push him. What?
No.
Because that's like
There's
what
no
2025.
Yeah.
Is
There's no
that a
reason.
thing? Is that a rumor?
There's no
I
reason.
haven't seen that rumor.
That's a bad call. If that's legit, there's no reason to wait. You're hot now. Give it to him now.
Yeah.
Make a rivalry out of it. Have Sammy take it from him in like a fluke roll up on the second match, and then do a third match, and they just both die.
Yeah.
And then Braun comes out from the ashes and takes the title.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just think it would be like how
Now Sammy winning by DQ because Braun just mutilates him. That will make Braun look just as good, if not more menacing than him leading with the belt. The priority right now is him killing fools.
Yeah. He's just got to look strong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with what Scott said earlier, that we don't necessarily need him to have a belt, but he needs to look strong. He needs to have a market win.
Yeah.
I mean,
just keep reinforcing the fact that he killed Ricochet. He went back to his home planet.
I mean, he killed the shit out of Ludwig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And Dragunov, I think, once.
Just rest in peace to Dragunov's balls.
Oh no! What happened to his balls?
He got
kicked on his balls.
Oh.
Dragunov top rope.
Sorry.
Oh.
Done.
You want to again? We're having this conversation now about Breaker in a loss being just as savage. Dragunov was a made man after that triple threat last night against Sheamus and McIntyre.
All right.
He took it, and he looked I thought he looked believable in that spot where he's just chopping both of them, and they're both there.
I thought he did damn
parts
good.
of
That match, I thought he was gonna win.
Yeah, Ludwig would come take Sheamus, McIntyre would get caught up with Punk, and Dragunov would steal one.
I really thought parts of it he was gonna win.
The only drawback is I don't see Dragunov as a wrestler that would raise his stakes in a ladder match. There's people that fit in ladder matches. Yeah. Even Kane, he's not climbing ladders, but he's the pinball. He's the bumper that everyone's going to pinball off of.
You always need
Dragunov is not that flyer.
Guy. You always need one of those big guys that do those. Those spots.
I don't see Dragunov being a guy that will fit in the ladder match. So McIntyre, fuck it. McIntyre will be that guy.
We've seen him in ladder matches in NXT before.
Yeah. And they weren't really the best. At least for me.
No, that's fair.
Ladder match time.
Damien said Fightful Select reported the thing.
Io Sky
last month.
About the NXT?
About Braun Breaker not getting pushed to Netflix.
Well, they're pushing him now, so I don't know.
He's getting a reaction now.
He's on TV every week. He's beating the shit out of somebody every week. Yeah. I don't know.
Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Zoe Stark, Chelsea Green. 6 girls, ladder match, women's Money in the Bank.
I'm at a 9 on my anticipation level for this one. I want to say that Tiffy is going to walk around with that, with the Money in the Bank, because I could see her using it as like an accessory, a pink one, yeah, like
some
like fluffy pink on her or something.
Yeah, like something like that. Like she's gonna fucking just really doll it up, and she's somebody that could really benefit from having the Money in the Bank because she's a heel, so she doesn't necessarily need to get like straight out wins, but she's getting over, but still in the heel way.
I was about to say, because we just spent 5 minutes drooling over Braun being the heel that everyone is cheering. She's been getting consistent face reactions.
Well,
Stratton is.
You know why?
Character, and because she's got a great rack.
Yeah, you can't boo that ass.
And that.
Yeah.
But she can also go.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen a bad Stratton match so far.
Yeah, and she's getting better too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Money in the Bank briefcase is going to be a good shortcut to the main event for the women, for her.
Her versus Bailey?
Yeah.
For the belt, pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your number?
I give it like a 7.5.
Yeah.
It's a ladder match.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them tonight. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Scott had
it's women.
And we just watched one.
Scott's having an aversion to ladder matches. I forgot.
So I gotta knock it down a little bit.
Okay.
And I think Tiff's gonna win it because she's the only one on there that I think.
What?
I don't know.
I can think of somebody else that could benefit from it, but let's hear Chris.
I'm at an 8 because, for the most part, the women's ladder matches, they tend to struggle a lot more with the furniture, and it's a lot of their spots seem a lot more cautious because they haven't had as much reps with actual ladder matches, as opposed to guys that will just like say, fuck it, it's merely a flesh wound, and they'll fucking crash through fucking a dozen
It's not like I'm gonna
ladders
jump
and
off
shit.
and break both my legs.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah. Like we did last week with the IC title, just go through all of them. The other reason why my anticipation is so low. What the fuck has Zoe Stark done in the last 3 months?
Yeah.
For us to give a damn about her as opposed to either Io Sky, not Io Sky, Dakota Kai, who you could run back the fucking damage control money briefcase again, but with Dakota, and be like, okay, do I trust these girls? Because I see what we did to Bailey, and now what I did to Bailey, and now I've got the briefcase. Should I be trusting these girls?
Yeah.
So Stark, I have no idea why that she's in this match. She
been
gets no reaction. She doesn't get cheered. She doesn't get booed. She's just there.
Shit. The guy, one of the commentators on Raw a couple weeks ago, forgot who her name was.
Yeah.
She came out. She was like, it wasn't McAfee. It might have been. He was just like, and
was it Corey?
Her, the other one. And he was like, that's Zoe. Like Michael Cole was like, that's Zoe, or whatever. And I was like,
that sounds like a McAfee thing.
But still,
here's an idea.
You get that shit written down. You know what I mean?
Here's an idea. Pull off an RVD. If you're gonna call her Zoe Stark, have her actually have like the Iron Man, something to have crowd be like, oh, that's Zoe Stark, Iron Man. She's got the little gear, colors or whatever. She has nothing. There's nothing about her that makes her different from all the women. Half the women have a personality or a gimmick. She has bupkis.
The
bupkis.
The hard part is,
and she's an ironing board. She has physically, she has nothing that would attract someone. Like she has nothing of actual character value.
What does that matter?
It's WWE, it matters.
Yeah,
come on.
Unfortunately,
it's wrestling. You know you're getting half those guys just.
Nia Jax at least looks different, and she's depending on what angle she can be attractive. But she is different. Zoe is nothing. She's like milk toast.
The thing about Zoe is
paint drying on the wall.
Damn.
It can be entertaining sometimes. Paint drying.
Paint drying can be entertaining.
If she has
is that what they do in Scotland?
It sure is.
Yeah. Okay.
If she has an MMA background, embellish it.
We already got some of them.
Well, we'll talk about Lola in a little bit.
But I'm just the issue with Zoe is she didn't do anything of note in NXT, right? Then she shows up in the main roster. She doesn't do anything for a while, and then she gets paired with Trish.
Right.
And then Trish gets hurt or leaves, and then they just like.
They did nothing.
They did nothing with her. Then they put her with
Baszler for a hot minute.
And then you're like, oh, okay, a cool kind of rough
MMA-ish.
But then
bare knuckle,
nothing.
Nada.
And so we were the whole time we were watching the match. I was like, Dakota's winning this. Like it only makes sense for Dakota to win because she's the only one.
Reaction.
Yeah.
Portia's saying, yeah, I don't see Finn's junk anymore, so now he's nothing. That's how you sound, Chris.
You can still see his junk.
Yeah.
Finn's, not Chris's. That's a whole nother conversation. Fucking.
With all due respect, Porsche.
Oh no.
You would understand if you did see Finn's junk.
Finn's got a lot of junk. Damien says I would rather see Zoe Stark win. What? Maybe
why do you care about Zoe Stark?
Hold on, that's not the end of what he said. So maybe there's a typo here. I would rather see Zoe Starks win Money in the Bank. She has done nothing since she was moved to main roster, and she needs the push more than anybody. Oh, so because she's done nothing, because she's milk toast,
so we're using
she needs the Money in the Bank.
So we're saying
she's Edge.
The same logic for Tiffany having it like to help jump. This is going to give her a personality.
I didn't say that Tiffany getting the Money in the Bank would give her a personality.
No, I'm just saying you're saying if Tiff gets the Money in the Bank, it skips her going to
main roster. Man,
but
then
if you give
maybe
it to somebody who has
nothing.
Is that gonna? Can you see her as Miss
Something.
Money? That could you see her?
And do you know what that's gonna feel like to me? It's gonna feel like Jack Swagger getting the Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah.
Or Otis getting the Money in the
He's
Bank.
there,
right?
I see him every week.
Oh yeah, Mr. Money in the Bank. Yeah, he's never gonna be a successful cash in.
And then if you think about it, oh man, I don't know. I can see the logic.
Io Sky is also in this match, so it made even more sense for Dakota to win it.
Yeah.
So it could have been 2 against the other 4, and you could either have descending tension of either one of them going up. Yeah, they're gonna interfere with it. Or Io, someone bows to the other and lets them take it, and then that's your storyline for the next 6 months. Like, man, wonder if Dakota would.
Because Io doesn't need it. Io doesn't need this Money in the Bank.
Okay, who are we missing on here? I feel like we skipped over somebody in the women's.
That philosophy that he has for Zoe Stark would be, you'd get more return on investment if you have that mentality for Chelsea Green. At least Chelsea Green has a foundation, a substance, something that puts her up.
Chelsea Green was my second pick. I was going to let you get yours out, but my second pick was Chelsea. Because Chelsea, again, just like Tiff, is a heel. So heels, you could do the shortcuts.
Yeah.
You could skip real quick with the Money in the Bank, and it's fine, and it still builds them up. And her with, Piper still protecting her and running around and being annoying as fuck with, hey, look what I got. Kind of, oh God, it's gonna be.
I'm
terrible,
expecting Piper to come out
terrible.
with an escalator because Chelsea Green's complaining that she can't walk up a ladder.
Yeah.
There's also that rumor that when she wins Money in the Bank, she wants to bring back the Divas Championship.
Oh, that would piss so many people off.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Apparently, we're getting, well, maybe y'all are getting called out more about the Zoe thing. Zoe was NXT champion. What do you mean she's done nothing?
Was she?
Yeah.
Do we remember? We were the ones that were watching NXT every week. This was background fodder for months.
Yeah.
So he's
watching
oblivious.
Dude, I don't remember. Yeah, I honestly don't remember anything she did. I don't remember anything other than her and Trish.
David goes, Chelsea Green is a jobber, but whatever. I'm sure, whatever.
No, technically, after her return, Naomi's been a jobber. Let's get that right.
Oh,
so I don't care about Naomi winning this. She's had a good run. She's here to glow and put people over. Lyra Valkyria.
Is that your second pick?
Yeah.
I think she's done okay by herself. I don't think she needs it. She's been good on Raw. That put both of them together. Zoe, they've both been NXT champions apparently.
Lyra, we remember Lyra and Becky had a good actual rivalry for the NXT title. So I remember Valkyria. I don't remember Stark for.
But since Valkyria's been on Raw, she's had decent matches. She's been in feuds. She
got crushed by like a compactor by Nia Jax.
You know what? Being sat on like that, she deserves. Give her the Money in the Bank. She broke
instead of a contract, put actual money in it.
She broke all of her ribs and got a collapsed lung just getting sat on.
Yeah.
So.
She lost 2 weight sizes thanks to Nia Jax.
Too bad they were all here. No. Yeah.
I see Lara winning the tag titles with Becky.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Lara Valkyria and Becky
in a year.
That's a good. Yeah, that could be a good team.
Yeah. So I would like Stratton to win it, but I could make a case for either Chelsea Green or Lyra Valkyria as dark horses or dark birds, depending on if it's Valkyria. Yeah.
I'll go that. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I think
it's Tiffy time.
Yeah.
How about the guys? We got Jay Uso, Mello, Andrade, Chad Gable, L.A. Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Those are your 6.
Oh man, I would say that I'm at like a 9.5 for this. I don't know why I'm not at a 10. I'm sure you're about to ask that question. What's keeping you at a 10? I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It's Money in the Bank. I like Money in the Bank. I like ladder matches. There's something about this particular one this year that I'm not at a 10 yet. Maybe after SmackDown I will be. Maybe I'll get a little bit more excited. But there's something that's just not there. It's missing something, and I don't know what it is.
Who do you have winning it?
LA Knight.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, hold on. Explain yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Let
you.
him talk.
Thank you.
Let him
Thank you.
cook real quick. Because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
We had this conversation last night.
I think LA Knight is the one that is on the cusp enough that he could be a main event guy, but you haven't actually put him in the main event yet. So give him the goddamn briefcase. That way he can have his like, all right, I'll have my moment where I actually cash in, because that's where you're at with LA, and that's usually where you're at with the Money in the Bank, right? Money in the Bank is for those guys that like need that extra little step, an excuse to be put into the main event. All right, Chris, what the fuck?
There's a clip on WWE television that LA Knight wants to cash in the Money in the Bank on fucking Logan Paul. No. Did we not learn this lesson already? Okay. Money in the Bank is for the main world titles. That's a waste if you're going to have LA Knight win it just to cash in on Logan Paul. What the fuck?
No. Oh, the U.S. title.
Yeah, the U.S. title. No. That's not main event, bro.
Okay.
I just had to let that out. Your turn. What's your number?
I give it like an 8.5.
Okay.
I got Drew winning.
Drew? Okay. Drew was my second choice. I think that it would be a really good excuse for him to get another shot and further the Hatfields and McCoys that we got going on with Punk and Drew, right?
That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. But my fantasy booking last night with Chris was Drew wins Money in the Bank.
Uh-huh.
He holds on to it for a long time.
Uh-huh.
At some point, we get Punk versus whoever, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, whoever it is.
Uh-huh.
And right when Punk wins the belt, and he's here comes Drew. And Drew gets it back. And then we get, and I'm thinking maybe Rumble, the title match at Rumble, and then you get Drew versus Punk at Mania next year. For the belt.
All right.
And then you're like, hey, you fucked me over twice. I fucked you over.
Yeah.
We're ending this now.
Yeah. They're going to finish the story.
That's perfect time for WrestleMania.
Medlin! What's up, Robert? Thank you for joining us.
What do you think of Zoe Starks?
I know, right?
I say Drew is about to win, but AJ Lee interferes and Gable wins.
AJ Lee interferes? AJ Lee. Okay. All right, Robert.
I just, Punk, even if it's Punk, even if it's AJ, Punk getting screwed over, or Drew getting screwed over again, it's too many times.
This coming from the Scot.
Hey, and as much as I hated it for Clash of the Castle, I liked it. It made sense. I still hate Punk. Punk's still dead to me, but...
What soda were we drinking yesterday when we were watching Raw?
Pepsi.
Damn!
Talking out of both ends here. I like them in Ace Ventura.
He didn't invent Pepsi. He's not owned by Pepsi.
I'm at a 7. Their only high flyers here technically are Jay and Andrade.
Carmelo,
yeah.
Melo's a high flyer.
He got hops.
What do you mean? He's not.
His finisher's a top rope.
Yeah.
From the bottom up, Andrade's not winning this.
No.
Oh, well, you're disagreeing with Damien. Damien said that Andrade's winning this in the live.
So, WWE's track record with Mexicans lately. No, Andrade's not winning.
That's fair.
That's not it. No, that's madre.
Well, no. Dom's technically Mexican.
One that swam across the Rio Grande.
Well, he didn't swim.
He was from San Diego.
He was a fucking anchor baby.
He's born in San Diego. The whale's vagina.
Whale's vagina.
Gable back from the dead after 2 weeks. You think he's gonna win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
No, there's something else going on with Gable and the Wyatt Six.
And the Creed brothers and Otis.
Yeah, there's way too much shit going on for him to get the briefcase.
Yeah.
Mello, too soon?
Too soon.
Hot take. Jay's popularity doesn't need the briefcase.
But does he need the briefcase?
No. I don't think so.
Who else? Who are we missing?
LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. If you're furthering does the Punk McIntyre plot require Drew to win the briefcase or require Punk to fuck Drew this Saturday for that to continue without them having the?
What if Punk fucks him out of the briefcase like Kennedy and Edge, right?
Like takes him out before.
Like,
well, or like challenges him for the belt or for the briefcase.
Yeah.
You know,
that hasn't been done in a long time.
Yeah.
Actually defending the briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you remember what you said to me last night about LA Knight?
What?
No.
Oh, him, not me.
Yeah, I remember, huh?
No.
That's what I thought you were going whenever he said. You said
out with it, man.
You said the LA Knight is not at that level to ever win
the WWE title.
Cody's belt.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. Nah, you're wrong.
So you're putting.
You're wrong. Like, okay, I understand your argument about him cutting the promo and cashing in on Logan. That's gonna suck. But assuming that that's either like a bluff or they're not really going to go through with that, I think LA Knight could actually be a guy that could carry around that briefcase and then cash in.
He's beating Cody for the belt.
He could, or he could beat the other one. Or once somebody else loses it, that's fine. Like, yeah, he could. If Damian could win the belt and get elevated and now is in a higher status than what he is before,
that's what we're saying. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, I'm talking about either one.
No.
Either one. Because you can cash in on either one.
No.
Yes, you can.
Wait.
What do you mean not anymore? You were over here talking about him cashing in on the fucking U.S. title. It's anyone that you can do.
The U.S. title is on SmackDown.
You can cash in on anyone.
The rules have changed the last couple of years. So it's not. They're making it brand specific. Just like the Royal Rumble, the winner of this past Royal Rumble, the winner of the Royal Rumble fights for the title of their respective brand. They don't choose the title. This tournament for King of the Ring, Gunther won it. He's going after Damian Priest, not after Cody, because it's brand specific. He got
to pick.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't get to pick. Go back. I'm sure Medlin or somebody back there can fact check that. It's brand specific. It's been brand specific the last couple of shots.
When Cody won Royal Rumble, he said he was picking Roman. He challenged Roman. I'm picking Roman. Why would he have to say that if he was already going to face Roman? Because they're on the same show. But they weren't on the same show, right?
They weren't on the same show. That's right.
See?
Bitch.
Fact check that. Now, fact check that.
Money in the Bank is completely different. I don't know how Money in the Bank works.
Oh, shit.
When it comes to what you just said about
your charger.
I forgot
something.
But Royal Rumble.
So back to the
Royal Rumble was I get to choose once I win who I'm facing.
Back to the original hot take. LA Knight's not winning the WWE title. He could win the world title 1,000 times. I don't see him winning the WWE title.
I just don't.
But that still means that he could win the Money in the Bank.
Unless you can't cash in on a different brand, which I don't know.
That's not a thing. If he could cash in on fucking Logan Paul on the fucking U.S. title, he could cash in on any of them.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. Jey Uso's winning this.
All right, yeet.
After you just said you didn't need it.
I know. You know why? Because now that I stopped rambling and started thinking.
Oh,
yeah.
But you did this. Use this.
Yeah.
Roman will have to take Jey seriously if he's Money in the Bank.
True. That could really factor into the Bloodline versus Bloodline story.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've got Jey winning it.
Jey? Right. Who's your second pick?
My second pick? Fuck. McIntyre.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Robert says I drove by Richmond looking for Bojangles, but it still isn't open yet.
Oh shit.
Is that the thing you and him were talking about, or?
I don't remember specifically.
Okay.
I'm driving to North Carolina. There's plenty of Bojangles out there. Yeah, fried chicken. Yeah. Not worry about Bojangles. What isn't Nando's supposed to be open by now?
Nando's is in River Oaks. It's open.
Oh. There's a Nando's here in Houston?
Oh, yeah.
In River Oaks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's been there for a long time. Well, a year or two, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Little chicken Nando's.
Mm-hmm.
Only the Royal Rumble and King and Queen of the Ring winners challenge for their own brand championship. Money in the Bank is all in, no pun intended.
There you go.
Cody is keeping that belt till The Rock returns.
Priest versus Rollins. Last chance. Either Rollins doesn't get a shot while Priest has the belt, or Priest leaves the Judgment Day if Seth wins.
Priest is not leaving the Judgment Day. Seth can challenge whenever Priest doesn't have that belt anymore, or get drafted to the other brand or something. So yeah, I'm giving it 8. I think it's going to be a solid match for Priest, a good showcase to show that Priest can hang with established main eventers.
Yeah.
Because there's still a little bit of that. He's still trying to, get that.
There's a lot of people that
get his main event status solidified.
Yeah, that aren't impressed with his run so far. And
I mean, I am.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
easy to impress.
I have a lot of friends that are like, they're like, we don't like him. And I'm like, how do you not like? I understand he hasn't really done anything. So beating Seth would help.
Yeah,
I think he needs to beat Seth.
Beating Seth in a banger would help.
Yeah, because the match with Drew was good, right? Drew.
Yeah.
The match with Drew was good, but then he didn't really beat him because Punk helped. You know what I mean? Like, and there's too much going on with the Judgment Day right now for him to be out.
I remember what I told you about this last night.
Oh, what is that?
You're getting both.
I'm getting both what?
Yeah. Priest is going to beat Rollins, and he's going to lose the Judgment Day because of the jealousy internally.
That's
so he doesn't need to lose this match to get out of the Judgment Day. Yeah, that's the other point of it too.
They're going to kick him out.
Yeah, this is just another tease to further antagonize the Judgment Day breaking up storyline.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the catalyst is actually going to be anything to do with Priest. The catalyst is going to have everything to do with Liv and Rhea and Dom whenever they come, whenever Rhea comes back.
See, I would have said that until last night with Finn.
Yeah, it's Liv and Finn against Rhea and Dom. Dom's been faithful mostly this entire time.
Finn is orchestrating this whole thing to get Priest out of Judgment Day. I think we're going to get Priest and Finn at some point. I think the match will be good, but I don't think it's going to be like, not at like WrestleMania, but like
so they've been teasing,
a bigger show.
WWE's been teasing that they want to, or they re-up the copyright for Bad Blood. You can have Punk and McIntyre, and you can have Priest and Finn live up to that title, and those are your two main.
And then Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, you don't even need titles in that match. Those 3 matches alone will sell.
That's why
because of the story.
That's why this match has a little. I'm more interested in this match than just being what the match is. I'm more interested in what's going to happen because like Finn on Raw was like, he's like, you've changed, and like Priest hasn't really changed.
No,
he hasn't changed his character, right? Like he's still the leader of the bloodline. He's still trying to keep everything together. He's still serious. He's just the champ. But then Finn's like,
you meant Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. My bad.
Yeah.
Judgment Day. And so Finn's like, you've changed. You're not the same. You used to be cool. You're not cool anymore. It's like there's the same.
Damian sees Priest getting screwed over by Finn. So here's the reason why I mentioned that that both things are going to happen. You can't have a heel-ish versus a heel at SummerSlam, and that's essentially what Damian Priest versus Gunther will be.
Yeah.
So for you to have sympathy for Damian Priest, he has to have been screwed over by the Judgment Day. So Finn's the bad guy because he's screwing over Priest. They're kicking him out of his own group. And
what's the pay-per-view before SummerSlam?
Nothing. SummerSlam's the next pay-per-view.
Really?
It's in the 3rd of August, the day before my birthday. That's the next pay-per-view after Money in the Bank.
So a month from now.
Yeah. So right after this weekend, we're starting to build with Gunther. And if you want to cheer for Priest, the best way to do it is by having Finn and the rest screw. Finn and Funko, both of them screw him. And then Dom's like, well, Dom's faithful to Rhea, and so you have Dom, Priest, and Rhea against Liv, Finn, and Funko. That's your division.
Where's Carlito fit?
Nowhere, because he's cool.
Where's R-Truth?
Dude, if Priest makes amends with R-Truth, God fuck.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
For the Bloodline, the Civil War, I got Truth just showing up.
My bad, wrong storyline.
Yeah.
Where's Damien? And you know what the best part is? He'll be wearing that bloodline, that shirt that he made that has his name on the bottom, and he still forget.
Yeah.
And then
Dude, if it's a fucking War Games match and he gets into the cages, God,
Confederate garb.
Fuck.
Everyone just super kicks him. Just all.
R-Truth is a national treasure.
So we're already back in the season, in the Money in the Bank season. So we're gonna have to start asking this at every fucking pay-per-view.
Are we getting a cash in?
Is anyone gonna cash in this Saturday? Do you think your winner is gonna cash in this Saturday for a women? Tiffy?
No.
Tiffy cashing in on Saturday?
Did you forget what Drew said?
What?
What?
What do you say?
Oh, that he was gonna cash in that night and leave Toronto.
Drew won last night. He was the last member to get into Money in the Bank. He beat the qualifiers, and he says, "I'm winning Money in the Bank, and I'm cashing in.
I'm leaving Toronto as world champion."
As world champion.
Okay. So
he's getting screwed over by Punk.
At the end?
Because there's no, because there's, and then
Can you imagine?
What's the shortest?
Can you imagine? We have a double screw job there where Finn screws over Priest, and then we get a cash in, and then Punk screws over Drew for the cash in. So there's like 2 fucking matches back to back where we get screwed over.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts.
Yeah. Not to mention,
Has anyone ever cashed in the night of?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kane.
Ambrose.
Kane.
But one, right?
Kane.
Ambrose.
And Kane.
Yeah, Kane too.
So they
Yeah.
both won it. So
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
ever cashed in and
Kane,
lost the same night.
No. The only people that have ever lost the Money in the Bank at all was Otis and Hager or Swagger, right?
No, Swagger won.
Oh, and
He beat
Cena.
Jericho. Cena gave him a week, and Cena got screwed out of it.
Yeah.
And Damian Sandow, or was it Cody with the mask? Cody and Sandow were feuding.
No, it
for
was
that
Sandow
briefcase.
because he
Sandow.
had that leather attaché
Yeah.
briefcase. Yeah, Sandow lost.
Yeah, he lost.
Theory? Austin Theory?
No, he cashed
used
in
that
for
to
the
win.
U.S. title.
Yeah,
which
he won the
again,
US
yeah.
title.
Is that all the matches?
Watch Bad Bunny go and show up and be the new member of the Judgment Day.
She's an honor member, I'm sure.
Overall, 5 matches again, quality over quantity. What's your number for Money in the Bank Canadian?
9.
9.
I give it a 10.
Yeah. 10?
Yeah, I've been really enjoying
Yeah.
Raw. Like WWE's just been entertaining. The Drew stuff, Drew and Punk, whatever's gonna happen with him. I'm invested in Judgment Day.
This is the first 3 hours of Raw I saw in months, completely from start to finish. Even though we had the fast forward juice,
It's not terrible.
We
only skipped.
That's a weird compliment, but it's not terrible.
We only skipped 1 match.
Yeah.
Two matches. Sorry, I apologize. We skipped Dom and Ray, and we skipped one of the women's matches.
Yeah. So one more thing before we end the whole wrestling talk. We had complaints when Wyatt was doing the Firefly Funhouse, and at some point he started wrestling matches, and he won the title, and they had this weird booking with him. How far do you see this Wyatt 6 going? What's the end game with Wyatt 6 2 weeks in? Well, 3 weeks in with the debut.
This is my concern. Is it's been fun watching all the videos and the Bo stuff, doing the cut and the
And it's
promos,
fucking gut-wrenching.
and fucking Nikki Cross
Delivering
being weird, delivering the tapes, and everyone reacting weird, and Gable. But at some point, we're going to be watching them wrestle, and then it's going to be
Bray times 6 of this superpower.
But even then, like when
astral, like can't kill him.
It came to a point where the Wyatt family, like they were just wrestlers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were great, and the tag matches were great with the Shield and all that kind of stuff. But it's like,
And then they brought hammers.
but also that was the Wyatt family. That's not what we're getting. You know what I mean? We're getting wrestlers that we've seen. Nikki Cross, we've seen her for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is she going to do differently? How is she going to look differently compared to just being, it's Nikki Cross?
Yeah, Nikki Cross, the superhero Nikki Cross from Sanity. Now you have to step it up even more.
If you're getting
for
the Sanity version and she's crazy,
or you're being completely introverted and she's a silent crazy.
And then you're getting Eric Rowan. We've seen him wrestle before. He hasn't done anything that you're like, I can't wait for another Rowan match.
Mm-hmm.
Harper was the better of the two.
Yeah.
Wrestling wise in the ring.
And he was one
that charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gacy has had decent matches in NXT, but
is his gimmick gonna let him cut promos?
You can say the same thing about Loomis. I mean, he probably had a better.
I haven't heard him talk at all.
Yeah, he had a better in-ring run in TNA.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like
Sam Shaw, right?
Yeah, Shaw. Yeah.
At some point, we're gonna have to see these guys wrestle.
Nikki has to lay off them burgers if she's gonna wrestle, says Damien.
Damn.
Damien Priest in the chat.
Porsche, how did that small woman take out all the security guards? You notice they were all laying on the announce table.
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah.
I just, at some point, they gotta wrestle. And then it's just another big group of people.
I kind of understand Chris's point, though. Chris's point of
how far is wrestling and how far is Halloween, Friday the 13th Supernatural?
Because if it is leaning more heavily into the Supernatural, which I think it is, because this whole Wyatt 6 thing is post-Fiend. Yeah. The Fiend was so overpowered that, like,
he got burned alive.
Yeah, like, and he was still winning matches even though he was burned alive. You know, we had wrestlers that were literally spamming their finishers on him, and he wasn't flinching. He was no selling. Now, are we going to?
And then he got beat by Orton in 6 minutes at WrestleMania that one time.
Yeah,
which completely like flipped the script.
Yeah, so I mean, are we having actual competitive wrestling matches with the Wyatt 6, or are we going to have just more of the Fiend, where they're all just super overpowered? You know, create a character, create a wrestler where you put all their stats at fucking 99.
Yeah,
you know, like how is that actually going to work?
But then at their defense, go back in the early 90s and watch Undertaker's debut and Undertaker's matches and Undertaker beating Hogan for the title and how much he didn't sell. You know, and his supernatural character, he buried motherfuckers alive.
You know what the issue with that is? Back then, there was no Undertaker. There was nothing you can. What did you compare Undertaker to in the 80s and 90s? You've never seen him before.
Yeah.
This is all going to be compared to
everything
the Wyatts. Yeah. And the Ministry or something where you're like, man, remember when the Ministry did something like that?
Or what the Final Testament could have been.
And that's a whole other thing. You have another group there that are also doing they're not as supernatural, but they're doing a whole faith gothy thing. Yeah. It's like, are you gonna feud against them? Are they gonna make them baby phases? Like,
we also want one of the New Days because we like rainbows too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying what they're doing with what they've done so far. Like, I like them creeping on Gable. I like Michael Cole's reaction.
Mm-hmm. They have to be delicate with this. You're right, Porsche. They have to be.
Yeah.
Because you're walking a fine line between actually putting on stuff that's entertaining and also stuff that's kind of like Halloween-y scary, but also balancing what wrestling actually is as an art form, and also balancing the fact that this whole thing is a solemn tribute to a guy that died way earlier than he should, that is being put on by his fucking brother, right? There is so much to balance.
However, it's a tribute to the brother that did this gimmick 10 times better than even all 5 so far of these people put together.
Well,
we've got
those are.
This is awful to say. So far part it's a little unfair.
This is to tie into the team. They have a huge grave to fill with this tribute to Bray doing the Wyatt 6, and so far it's working. But are we gonna remember this? Are we gonna remember this 6 months from now, a year from now, when the booking
that classic? Then the bell rang.
Then the bell rang.
That's my concern. I'm enjoying it. I think it's cool. I want to see more. I want to see, like I told him, I was like, you know, they interviewed Bo last week and he was doing the whole split personality. I was like, and then they showed Nikki Cross. She gave the tape to Michael Cole. And then last night, I told him, I was like, I want one of the other guys to show up.
Right.
Rowan grieving over Brody. You know, so everyone losing someone. I like the promo at the end, but I was a bit that it was more of Bo when is the focus Bo and he's pulling the strings on all his other puppets, or does everyone matter equally?
Yeah.
Well, it's the Wyatt 6. It's not Bo's 6.
Yeah.
Well, and
Bo the 5.
here's the other thing too. Is the focus Bo or is the focus Uncle Howdy? Because we weren't really supposed to know that Bo was Uncle Howdy, right?
Yeah. Well,
like Uncle Howdy was Bray's creation, maybe a figment of his imagination, kayfabe wise. Yeah. Yes, reality wise too. It's his creation, but like the whole suspicion was, oh, that's not really a real person. That's another character in the fun house that is just like part of his Bray Wyatt's psyche.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they kind of explained it on Raw last night. I think you're hopefully, from what I picked on it, I don't think we're gonna get Bo anymore. Like Bo's gone. It's Uncle Howdy because that promo and then they merged into one.
Like you see Bo fade away and Uncle Howdy come back.
Yeah, and I think Uncle Howdy. We all know it's Bo, but it's what happened to Bray and everything is affected Bo to become Uncle Howdy, and so I think going forward you're not gonna have
Bo Dallas.
But the cause and effect there doesn't work, because if you're going to say that Bo Dallas became Uncle Howdy because Bray died, he was already Uncle Howdy before Bray died.
But,
you know.
But that was never made official. You didn't. Right?
Was that ever established up until?
No, it wasn't established.
The Rumble match with LA Knight and Bray at the Alamo Dome, that was never established.
No,
right.
The only time we saw
the
only time you've seen Bo Dallas on WWE TV is the past 2 weeks in that promo
and the documentary. Of Bray's death.
But that doesn't
That's on A&E.
Yeah, that doesn't.
It's weird you say it doesn't necessarily count,
but it kind of does. They
wanted to resurrect the story of that Bray started writing with someone else's hand on the pen, and now we had it.
We won't know because the creator is passed. You're right.
Yeah. No,
unless he had journals and notes of how far like the evolution of his character.
I've seen some different footage of them talking about what like the ideas they wanted to. So it wouldn't surprise me if the way that they described Bray, the way he talked about himself, like out of the ring, I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't written this shit, what he thought about doing, and now they just have.
They had sketches.
They have a book and being like, all right, we can't do this part, but like, why don't we do this or why don't we tweak it? So I could see them taking Bray's stuff that came from his head that he had up in here that never got to be shown on WTV to turn into the Wyatt 6, because like you said earlier, it's a memory and Bray's for Bray. You know, I'm worried about when the matches start, and then you see them wrestle,
because there's so much artistic value here that it almost transcends the actual between the bells part of the wrestling. Right? It's going to be hard to balance it.
Also, part of me, I don't know if I'm sure you, but on Busted Open, Mark Henry and Bully got into the Wyatts, the Wyatt 6. They got them into pretty hard because they post that picture at the Whataburger.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And they were like, look, we put all this time into this, all the WWE, everything,
money on the masks
and everything, and like you're building a new legacy for this company, and then you just kind of shit on it by posting a picture. That also, like, that's part of it, and I understand where they're coming from, but they killed Gable, and then not more than a day and a half later, he was like, no, I'm fine, don't worry. So, like, am I not supposed to believe that he was dead, that they killed him?
And now he's in Money in the Bank?
And now he's in the Money in the Bank. And sure, they're going to lead on to this, but it's like, you already, like, why did they do it? Like, you know, like, why did they just leave it all be?
Well, and the other thing, too, that I want to know is why was he the only established wrestler that was actually in that scene? Right?
Yeah.
Like they took out a lot of security and a lot of jobbers, and the only actual established name was him. And apparently there were supposed to be clues that it was going to be Chad Gable as well. That
there was
a lot of us missed.
You don't say thank you anymore.
Yeah, and it had CG on the thing, his initials. Like, okay, cool. But he died, and it was a leak, and we don't know why they targeted him, and now he's fine.
Yeah.
But
and he's in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and I wonder if that means that there's more to it. Maybe during the Money in the Bank match, we're gonna have something with the Wyatt Six come out and neutralize Gable.
I got that happening because like on Raw, him and Jay they opened the show, and Gable was like, Jay was like, I want nothing to do with it, but Gable was like, I'm not afraid, I'm cool with it, you know. I'm not, and then they came out and they chased them away.
Yeah,
and you saw 3 of them. You saw Nikki. I don't know if it wasn't Rowan.
I forget. Some of that shit was dark.
3 of them showed up, and he tried to get away, and he showed up, and then he ran away. And then now he's got the Creed brothers.
Porsche said something about separating the performer from the actor or whatever.
Yeah. That's exactly what she said.
That's part of a bigger issue that sometimes even us as wrestling fans fail to notice. Even with Bully and Mark doing that nice long argument about how the Wyatt shat over everything.
Which I don't think that they shat over.
We are a loud minority. Yeah. I'm sure 90% of the people that buy tickets to watch WWE shows on a weekly basis even know that happened.
Yeah.
That or the fact that there's a show called Busted Open, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or it would have even recognized them without the masks at the Whataburger.
It would just mean, hey, look, I know all those wrestlers.
Yeah. Like if they
he would have been like, oh, they're at that 2-story Whataburger.
Yeah, actually I did. I was like, oh, they were in Corpus. That was at the 2-story Whataburger. I was more excited about the 2-story Whataburger. But
it was open that late.
Yeah. But no, if it's a filthy casual wouldn't have even known that was them. Yeah. The people that know that it was them were people that already knew that it was them. So like, oh my God, can I get an autograph? Oh my God, can I take a picture? Like the cat was already out of the bag.
Filthy casuals only have the WWE feed on their Facebook or their Twitter, and they're not going to post that stuff. So they're not going to have.
And they're not even gonna know. They're not gonna recognize fucking Dexter Loomis.
Congrats to the 5 people that are so hardcore from birth, that they were born in a WWE turnbuckle. They know who those wrestlers are. Congrats. That's not everyone.
That brings up the next issue.
What's that?
Whenever they step in the ring and they take off the mask, oh, that's Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, he had a number 2 with mustard. Yeah.
That's that guy from NXT. I don't know him.
If they wrestle without the masks.
They're gonna have to, man. Those things are massive.
Bray did it.
Yeah, but his was tight.
Right.
Unless
he got
something underneath.
They can do that.
Not as bad as Mantar.
Yeah, but they can totally 100% do that. Have their formal mask and their wrestling mask. You know, like the big ones.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah.
At some point, they're like, oh, that's that guy that used.
Or like Slipknot. Joe Gacy's number 4.
Or
Loomis is number 2.
Or do promos in the back. Show us those split personalities. Like, hey, I was fucking Redbeard, and then and then my best friend died.
I was kind of hoping we were going to get more of that after we saw the one with Bray and Howdy.
Do a videotape of the split screen with superhero Nikki, and then this character Nikki bouncing off how she spiraled into where she's in. And then superhero Nikki, her costumes all superhero Nikki's costume starts turning all black.
Yes.
Her hero became the villain. And then as the promo goes on, she starts shedding more of the costume. Yeah. And you see them blur into there's many options you can do with the rest of the people to give them an identity as opposed
Casey
to
was doing some fucking weird shit in NXT, which was entertaining.
I liked it. It threw me off at first for a loop, but then hearing his promos, dude, the way he Deadpool broke into Dijak's little fucking movie scene cutscenes and oh, dude.
Did y'all notice that Rowan has Brody's mask on the back of his rabbit mask? This was the Bludgeon Brothers masks.
And they got the hammer now too, and the hammer says something on it now. I don't know if it says Brody or something.
I thought it said help.
It says help on one. I thought, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of details, man.
There's a lot of details.
It's hard because we haven't got to see it.
Makes me kind of wish that if they were going to do these vignettes like we saw with Bo and Howdy, that they would have saved Bo and Howdy for the last one,
Yeah.
and then started to slowly introduce every week.
I guess because he's the leader, you want to.
No, save him for the end because he is the leader. So do
do
you really think that aside from Brody and Rowan, do you really think that anything is going to fucking top Bo and Howdy when we're talking about Dexter Loomis lost Indy? Okay,
Unless we just don't get anything from him.
I mean, that's possible.
It's just Howdy.
Because those things are like smaller stakes than Rowan and Brody and Howdy and Bo, right? Because those are the two. Oh fuck, that is actual real traumatic and that's real life stuff.
And we all saw it.
And the whole foundation of this entire story is based off of something real that happened with someone in the family.
Exactly.
So you want to keep the realism turned up. That's the sympathy is probably was going to keep us as long as we can last in the storyline before we.
Which is what they also did with the Dark Order.
Yep.
And why the Dark Order is still even a fucking thing in AEW. The Dark Order should have been, for lack of a better term, dead and gone like a year or 2 years ago. Yeah. When they started mass releasing folk in AEW the way they did in WWE and half of them were Dark Order guys. Yeah, Dark Order is done. Right? Why are you still trying to
make that a thing? Showing up on WrestleMania to cheer with Brody. Yeah.
Or like, what's negative one?
Dark Order was pretty much done once Brody died. Yeah. Like, you got the sympathy 6 months.
They rode that for maybe even not even 6 months. They rode it for a year.
Yeah, there was no one there that could have taken that mantle to make that actually last as a tribute. No, if anything, Hangman. Because Hangman was welcomed by them.
But then you lose that I don't know,
the aura.
This is why Wyatt attacked Gable. Bo said why in the promo last night when Uncle Howdy asked him about being special.
Yeah. Also, it's weird that this whole creepy group in their first major feud is with Gable.
And and Gable is getting different backup after getting rid of his current backup.
Yeah, which is a weird it's almost like they've just infused he's doing his own thing because I figured eventually we would get Creed Brothers and Gable versus and they need a third person with Otis and Tozawa.
Good point with portion of the live chat. She says Dark Order started with Evil Uno. Since he was technically the first, he is the de facto leader, and I agree.
Yeah.
But it feels like the real leader of Judgment Day is Edge. No, the real leader of Judgment Day is Priest. Yeah, maybe it was Edge.
Edge put it together, but he's not the leader.
Or like saying the real leader of the Bullet Club is fucking Prince Devitt. No, he was the first leader, but now it's Finley, right? Finley, So
and that went over like a fart in church. Where the fuck was he in all this Forbidden Door stuff?
Yeah,
I bet he's hurt. I don't know if he is.
No, Rhea is the leader. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Mommy's on top. Mommy's always on top. Yes. Yeah. Mommy's the leader.
That is everything.
I want to ask something. Damien, are you from Houston? Or are you also from New York like the other guy that was in here a little while ago? Just a question. Hopefully he'll actually be able to respond before we go off air. Sounded like we were trying to wrap things up.
While we're waiting, I just saw a clip from ROW.
Yeah.
With I don't know what his name was, but I guess he won the Texas State Championship or Texas TV Championship or whatever it is.
Okay.
And he had a trash can. I don't know how old this is.
Chicago.
Damn.
Yo.
We have New York and Chicago in here today.
Dang.
Wow. Okay. Fucking Yankees and White Sox. Yeah. Ugh.
Rest in peace,
and we could agree on one thing. Fuck the Celtics.
Rest in peace,
Lagunitas, man. Dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Save me a slice of Gino's East, man. I'll be up there soon-ish, maybe.
I'd like to go back to Chicago.
Let's do it, man. I've got a couple of months open on my travel challenge.
I don't.
Anything else? That was good. We dove 20 minutes in the fucking Wyatt's. I didn't even think it was going to go that far.
Yeah. Damn, I was supposed to double check. But I still believe that the next Riot Wrestling Federation show is, I want to say it's August 9th. It's a Friday. It's either 9th or 8th or something like that, whatever that Friday is. Down here is in Texas, in Santa Fe. Your boy is still doing commentary as far as I know, unless they fired me and didn't tell me. But yeah, come on out, Riot Wrestling Federation.
You know what I just realized?
Check it out as soon as you can.
And I'm sorry that we just got into it.
Yeah.
I have notes here to preview NXT Heatwave on Sunday.
Oh, que la chingada.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
So the reason I mentioned this is because the next WWE pay-per-view is the first weekend of August. The first AEW pay-per-view is in the last weekend of August. It's all in London. Do you guys want to come back next week and review Money in the Bank and NXT Heatwave?
Oof.
I'm gonna watch both of them. So
am I.
All right. Fuck it. Let's do it.
You want to do it next
Yeah,
week? We
let's
just
do it.
run it back.
Are we going to try to do Thursdays like we normally do again? Or are we going to try to come back on a
We
Tuesday?
can do Thursday next week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
can you tell me what the matches are? Not, you don't
Real
have to
quick.
We don't have to do it now.
Real quick.
I'm curious.
'Cause
It's a fatal 4-way.
Because we were talking about Zoe Stark and her like bare knuckle stuff. Lola Vice is getting a title shot against Roxy. That's gonna be fucking good.
You got a 4-way for
Trick, Spears, Ethan Page, and Javon Evans. Javon's getting the break. He's in the 4-way for the men's world title. Obafemi against Wes Lee 1-on-1. Finally.
that might be my match of the weekend.
Kailani Jordan against Sol Ruka for the women's North American title.
Oh.
And
Have you seen Sol Ruka?
Oh, yeah.
dude, that corkscrew like flip cutter.
Yeah.
Surfer.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom against Andre Chase and Duke Hudson of Chase U for the tag titles. Those are the only 5 matches.
And then tonight, whatever happens tonight.
And then whatever happens tonight.
I'm sure they might add another 1 or 2 matches.
Pre-show, yeah. Yeah, I definitely, quality over quantity, I definitely going to make time to watch both of these shows.
You see that? Did you see that Dijak was at AEW?
I really don't give a fuck about
I don't care, yeah, but he was also one of the
Wyatt Six?
Yeah, he was one of the leakers on social, like, for rumors and shit.
Yeah.
The fact that he popped up, I'm like,
That's it.
That's it.
That's
well,
it.
Then
next week, one more time. Until
right.
next time.
well,
one more time.
until the next one. We're at what, 448? Yeah, we're gonna get there at some point. All right. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Goodbye.
Toodles.